Welcome to the In-Between-Man podcast, where men can be men. Yes, this is no lie. There'll be the fifth time I'm recording this message because my freaking audio is not working. But I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be all right. I'm going to get through it. We're going to do it right. We're going to get it done. We're going to make it happen. I got my Giants hat on. Why? Because the Giants are playing this weekend, 2025, the beginning of the NFL season. I'm gassed up. I'm ready for my team. I'm fired up. You should be fired up. It's going to be perfect. Today, we're going to change it up a little bit. All right? We're going to change it up a little bit. We've been talking a lot about, what does it mean to hit an emotional bottom? What does it mean to be having your male values overlooked and even criticized, right? Like all these things. What's the man box? We're going to break it down today in real simple terms. Real simple terms. I don't want to confuse anybody. I don't want to get anybody like thinking that this stuff is way too more intelligent than it actually is, because it's really not. The whole thing is incredibly simple. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to share with you via a slide presentation. Now, don't roll your eyes. Don't get all upset. Don't do any of that stuff. Okay, there's no need for it right now. Because what's going to happen is I am going to take the teacher vocabulary out of my mouth. I'm going to get into what I would like to call, Bushy, shut up! Man banter. Okay? We're going to be talking using man banter. And I'm going to share the screen with you because I'm going to record it so that I can lay my video over the top of it. All right? It'll be great. You won't even know it's happening. It'll be awesome. Let's see. We'll put that up there. We'll do a little bit of this. I can cut this out later on. We'll put that over here. Sharing my screen. Now let's go record.
Recording in progress.
Oops. Okay, so today we're going to go over a very simple, a very, easy concept that has to do with specifically the first stage of 5 stages of the Goddard methodology. Now you're saying to yourself, what's the Goddard methodology? You'll have to go to the website and check it out. But the whole reason why I'm sharing this with you is because this is going to be the first stage of 5 processes that will help, hopefully, individual men like yourself acknowledge, question, and accept certain aspects about the traditional male value system that they either agree with or they recognize, right? That's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about acknowledging a statement that I've written a long time ago. So before we get started, this is going to be like, hi, my name's Renick. I'm going to teach you today. That is not man banter. It's just not man banter. It's not what we're going to be doing here. Okay, what we're going to be doing is this. Hold on. Hi, hashtag GFY. Now, if you look at this slide, okay, look at the slide right here. There's a check box. That box is checked, and it says man banter. So that means that I will be talking to you the way a man would talk to you if you're going to order some food at Burger King, if you're in line to get yourself a cup of coffee, if you're in the work truck and it's time to bust balls with anybody, you're working on the oil field, whatever it happens to be. You're in the conference room at work, whatever. We're talking man language right now, okay? It's going to be simple. It's going to be easy for you to understand, and it's going to be outstanding. It's going to be epic. It's going to be extreme. It's going to be overwhelming, okay? So what I want to do is I want to make sure that all of you, yes, you, the person who has failed out of high school, has ADHD, ADD, and a learning disability, I'm going to teach you so that you understand the definition of the word acknowledge. Okay? Let's jump into it. All right, so the word acknowledge, okay? To recognize or admit the existence, truth, or validity of something. Okay? That's the initial definition of acknowledge. And if this battery runs out, I'm going to throw this thing out the window. Second definition is to express gratitude or appreciation for something. Perfect example would be you're a model, you just had your movers leave because they put in all your stuff that you're moving into. She walks outside, she says thank you, they turn around and she smiles. You know what I mean? Sign of appreciation. To show that you have noticed someone or something. So the flip side of that coin, using the same example, would be the guys who helped this woman move into her apartment. Okay, they're at the bar, they're slugging back some beers. She comes in, and all the guys turn around and they go, that's acknowledging that someone's there. Okay? The second and the third one, I don't want you to worry about. All right? The one I want you to focus on is the first one, which is simple. Recognize, admit the existence, truth, or validity of something. Of something. Okay? So, this is the first stage of the 5 different stages of men that I've created and titled the Goddard methodology. Okay? And it goes something like this. Drum roll, please. So can you acknowledge, recognize, admit the truth, the validity of something with this statement? Men over time, regardless of their generation, acknowledge the traditional male value system is primarily focused on man's ability to provide. Okay. All right. Consequently, the supporters of the traditional male value system, often society, loved ones, family, friends, or maybe even the dude himself, downplay or belittle any works that empower emotional and or spiritual growth. Now, before you turn off the video, okay, before you get upset, spiritual growth is not a component that is necessary in order to go through this process. If you're agnostic, you don't believe in, have any faith, we'll just remove that and we can move forward with the process without it, okay? So you don't get off the hook, right? You don't get off the hook. So I'm going to say it to you one more time, all right? Men over time, regardless of their generation, acknowledge the traditional male value system is primarily focused on man's ability to provide things, preferably expensive things, like cars and houses that are really expensive and gated communities. Your wife's got to drive a really nice car. That shows the outside world that you are a valuable man because of what you can provide. Okay? You with me? Consequently, the supporters of the traditional male value system, often society, loved ones, family, friends, and or the individual male himself, downplay or belittle any works that empower emotional and or spiritual growth. So can you acknowledge that? Can you recognize or admit the existence of truth or validity in that statement? All right, I'll walk through with you one more time. And I'll add a little, something to it, right? Men over time, regardless of the generation, that includes everybody from every culture around the world. Acknowledge, that means to recognize, admit the existence of truth or the validity of something. The traditional male value system is primarily focused on man's ability to provide. Do you agree that you are valued primarily on your ability to provide financial objects to your significant other or your family? Okay? Do you believe that's your primary focus? Because if you do, that's a good thing. If you don't, maybe you realize it now. Okay? The second part is, consequently, the supporters of the traditional male value system, often society, you can't control. Your loved ones, you can't control. Family, you can't control. Friends that you can't control. And even yourself, which you can control, downplay or belittle any works that empower emotional and or spiritual growth. You with me on that? I gotta check how much time we got. Is it 38 seconds? All right, bear with me. So, what's the answer to this question? Yes or no? I mean, this is going to be how simple this freaking podcast is going to be. It's simple. It's straightforward. It's not going to be complicated. There's not going to be an exam. It's a yes or no question. So you tell me, do you acknowledge what this statement is saying as having the existence, or you recognize some truth or validity to it? Can you say yes to that, or can you say no? Or can you say you're on the fence, you don't know, you're thinking about it? You can do three things. I would like to think, even with, the kids on ADD and need that special medication, this is not a hard thing to figure out. There's no calculus in here, right? We're not doing AP freaking biology, all right? There's none of that here. Simple yes or no question. So if you do agree with it, leave a comment. Just say yes in the comments. Yes. If you don't agree with it, don't go anywhere. Comment and say no. I don't agree with it. Hashtag GFY. I'm fine with that. Leave a negative comment. I like negative comments. Okay? It's raining cats and dogs outside. But if you do agree with it, do me a favor and share it with one of your friends. Just fire it off to them, see if they agree. Have a conversation about it. Is it valid? Can you recognize there's some truth to it? Get your friend's opinion on it. If you disagree, even better. Share it with a friend. The two of you could talk about how stupid it is. How it doesn't mean anything and it's just a swing in the dark. The two of you can figure that out and do that together because you've already got it figured out. You're living on the high hog. You understand that your worth and value isn't always tied to financial objects and goals, right? You've worked out. You're emotionally connected. You're dialed in, man. You're a spiritual beacon, or not a non-spiritual beacon, if there's such a thing. So if you're on the fence, you're not a yes or a no. You're on the fence. You're on the razor's edge. You're not sure. Share it with someone. Ask them what they think. I'm on the fence about this. I don't know. What do you think, Biff? What do you think, Taylor? What do you think, Hank? Angus? Now, if you think that this is stupid, there's two things I need you to do. Don't share it with someone. Just don't share it with anybody. If this is stupid, keep it all to yourself. Don't share it with anybody because we don't want to make anyone else feel stupid either. And more importantly, if you don't share it, do me a favor, just pretend you never heard it. It's easier just to ignore it and forget about it because that way you don't have to do anything. You just sit around and nothing happens. You know it's stupid. You're not going to share it with anybody. You're not going to offend anybody. You're just going to sit in the middle and do nothing and think it's stupid. But you think it's stupid, which is great. Do that for me. That would just be amazing. And that's it. That's literally it. That is the entirety of this podcast. And I wanted to make sure that this resonates with you. Because if it does, that's a good thing. Because it resonates with me. Okay? What I should tell you, what I think that we should not feel belittled or downplayed or looked at as a way to ignore any of our emotions. I'm not saying you need to be like a wallflower, you know what I mean? Like, you could still be a freaking dude and be in touch with kind of what's going on, all right? That's what I'm saying here, okay? Is that we as men do not have a process to fully understand our emotions or what's involved with them, and we walk around in an infinity loop of insanity. I'm not going to ask for help, and I'm not going to talk about my feelings. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to figure this out on my own. So we sit in our room, we try to figure it out, and we just go around and around, around and around. Nothing gets done, around and around. And now you got more stuff on there, around and around. Don't ask for help. And don't share your emotions. Infinity loop around and around. It's an infinity loop of insanity. And the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And what I can tell you I see now in the world today is that men are living in the insane infinity loop of not raising their hand when they need help and not talking about their feelings. Okay? And you do not have to be, you can still be a man. I'm telling you, you could still be a man by doing that. We're talking about it right now. We're having fun. I could tell you 1,000 different stories about shit like this. All right? But I'm not gonna, because I want this to be short and I want this to be sweet. How long is this? 17 minutes. Holy shit. And I got to get ready for another call. But do me a favor. Before you go anywhere, if you're single and you're going on a date, I want you to do me a favor. I have a Etsy shop, and I made all of these cards. Now, this would be the kind of card that you would give to somebody on a first date. All right? It's romantic. It's got little things in the corners, right? Like, you give this to somebody that you're going on a date with, they're going to immediately look at it, especially if it's a woman, and be like, oh, this is so touching. We're doing like the samba, and he's twirling my hands in the air, and we're near a sunset. You know what I mean? But if you go on this date, and she orders, and you order, and all of a sudden, this woman decides that she's going to order 5 meals for her kids, and she thinks that you're obligated because your job is to be a financial provider, that you should pay for all of her kids' dinners. That's when this card comes in handy, because this is what you'll do. She'll open it up, and it will say this: I was thinking about you today, and I want to let you know 50 Shades of Grey never happened. It's a fairy tale. And Prince Charming is homeless. These are the Peter North Emotionally Vulnerable Everyday Greeting Cards. I even got a guy in there like a warrior, like he's on the top of a hill. He's even commenting on this wake up girl kind of stuff. But here's the kicker. But wait. There's more. On the back, there's a spiritual message. And you don't have to be spiritual to give this message. As a matter of fact, it's better that you're not spiritual to give this message. And this is what this message says. Okay, I got to get my glasses on. I mean, it's heartfelt, guys. God trusts all men. God trusts all of mankind to practice love and tolerance for others. You have mastered the art of emotional manipulation and find something wrong with everything I do. Have fun changing your flat tire. Love, Peter North. You can get 4 of these bad boys on my Etsy store, like $20. Free shipping, and you know what you get, dude? Check this out. But wait, there's more. An envelope. I mean, honestly, what's better? What could be better than that? That's right. Nothing. Nothing could be better than that. Do me a favor. Do yourself a favor. I did have a Circle K Polar Pop, but now I've migrated over to the Yeti tumbler. This is half iced tea, half water. It's a good mixture. It's keeping me quenched, and you should do yourself a favor and go get one yourself. And while you're doing that, you know what? I'll see you on the next one. I'll see you in there.